I am so excited to welcome you today to our discussion of goal setting. I talk a lot about goals around here, and perhaps you've seen my information about the big goal. The big goal, picture yourself at the very end, the very finish line, not what you're going to look like, but what you are going to be doing. Begin living in that big goal right now, right now. But here, as we launch the community wide 3-day challenge and we all select our 6-week goals, it is important to talk about the type of goal that you might choose in this 6-week period. But I do absolutely want to direct you to the big goal concept, to that content. There's content on YouTube that anybody can find. There is additional content in the boot camp and in the engaged communities. For me, my big goal was to hike. And this is the first diet, like of all the diets over all the years where I had a goal to like lose 20 pounds or to fit in some pants or whatever it was. It had to do with a number. The big goal is about like that end life that you're going to have. That is so critical as like our key anchor in all of this. I want you to have a big goal, a big goal. Now I am talking about your 6-week goal. And so the 6-week goal is more traditional goal setting and very often might be a number measured in some way. Because how are you going to get out and hike with your sons if you weigh 280 pounds and you're laid up on a couch? You got to get there somehow, and 6 weeks at a time, 6 minutes at a time is how it happens. And so how can we keep that thing in front of us so we can continue to stay on track? Setting goals can be amazing and powerful. And in my long grind, I had my big goal of hiking, but I remember some distinct periods where I did have specific measurable goals. And most notably, as I was coming up to the 100-pound down mark, like wanting to hit that century mark, I was about to go to a big expo, Expo West, which is a natural products trade show. And I thought, wow, wouldn't it be amazing if I could go from booth to booth saying I lost 100 pounds rather than saying I lost 96. Okay, 96 is pretty impressive, but that nice round number of the 100 kind of had me shooting for it. And so the conference or the expo was in, I'm going to say it was around like March 10th, okay? And so it was early February. And I knew I was nip and tuck on that 100 mark. I was at that point losing about a third of a pound a day. And so I can't remember exactly where I was in early February, but my dad had just been in the hospital. We thought we were losing him. That was in early January, and the crisis of it lasted into late January. And I didn't gain, but I also didn't lose, just like all the, cortisol and the stress hormones. That can be a fat magnet. And even maintaining in that time, I felt like that was a great success. And so I was a little bit off track from where I, sort of thought I should be. That was okay. I could see that I could get to the century mark. I could see it, but I had to work a little extra harder for it. And so as we transitioned my dad from the hospital into rehab, I really dug in. And I dug in because I only had like five or 6 weeks left to hit that century mark. So I'm going to guess that I was probably at about 90 pounds down at that point. Yeah, that is about right, about 90 pounds down. And so I needed to hit that 10 pounds in about a month mark, which is kind of a lot, but I knew I could do it because I had been losing about a third of a pound a day. But I knew I couldn't take it for granted. And I had to focus and be diligent if I was going to hit that mark. And so that's the great thing about goal setting, is having that like little mark in front of us really does inspire us to be a little bit extra diligent and maybe even bring in some innovation if we need to. Currently, in the engaged community, we have a goal of meeting something by July 4th. This is 2022. And mine is to declutter and clean 6 rooms in the house, which is, oh my God, a lot. But had I not made the goal, it would not kind of be on my mind. Like I wouldn't feel internally the pressure of doing something on it every day. I'm sure by now I would have let it slip. I would have forgotten about it, tried to ignore it, or whatever else had I not stated the goal to the whole engaged community. And the fact is, there's only 2 weeks left before that comes to an end. And I have had to innovate to even meet the goal because, and I'm getting like, I'm wrangling the kids. Everybody's now on it and helping me. So, because that's how I'm going to meet my goal. That's how I'm going to meet my goal. And so you too might find that you are extra supercharged in hitting that mark because you set the goal. Okay, that's why I want you to set it. Like, let's supercharge this thing. Let's like speak it out loud. Set it. What is it? We're going to talk about that. That's what we're talking about today. But the point is, it like unleashes a power of its own if you set it and like make it real. You'll work for that thing. You'll find the path to get there. To get there. Because setting goals really, like, it activates your consciousness, your subconscious, in really finding that path and figuring out what needs to happen to get there. We have so much great content in the Eat Like a Bear community about weight loss. We know the type of meal that tends to drive success. You might be working through it and tweaking it, and that might be part of what you need to do for this goal. But you might have other barriers that are making it difficult for you to implement that thing day after day after day. This is actually a big theme of the boot camp that I hope you're in. I hope you're in. But if you're not, get to do your own boot camp to get you to that 6-week goal. Your brain is an amazing tool and will help you see your path. But you got to set the goal. You got to set the goal. We're going to set a goal here. You're going to have a clear deadline. It's 6 weeks from now. Okay, we're setting the deadline for you. So August 15th, just give it a nice round number, August 15th. So deadlines, but also actions and activities. And you're going to find more resources here on converting all of this into like a daily list of 5. So there are tools here, but let's talk about the goal itself. Okay, so all of like the success people out there, like the business success and life success people, will tell you that successful people set goals. Successful weight loss people set goals. So we're going to do that. And you know what? So many of us don't set goals. We've never really been taught it. You know, maybe our friends think it's kooky and woo and tease us about it. I've maybe done that in the past. We don't even know how. Afraid we're going to fail. I mean, I would think most of us have some fear about that. Or just generally we think it's a little bit stupid. Okay, so I'm the president of that club. I'm going to say, like, had someone came to me at 280 pounds and said, you know, the problem, Amanda, and the reason you've been fat all these years is because you haven't set a goal in the right way. Maybe you didn't make it measurable enough or whatever. I would have like, oh my God. Okay, so I get it. I get it, but it really works. Okay, we want a goal that's specific and measurable, that has a time limit. Okay, so for this, it's going to be about 6 weeks, depending on when you find this and when you set it. It needs to be believable to you. And I realize with weight loss how like unbelievable some of this is that we're doing. I had no hope, certainly no belief or anything like that. But I hope that you see so much evidence from our community that you can embrace it in a way that maybe I couldn't. It does light it on fire if it's believable to you. And so your own goal for this 6-week period is very much that mindset that I had back when I was pushing for that 100-pound mark. My goal at the time was completely doable, but in order to make sure that I met it, I did have to dig in and push a little bit. And so I do recommend that you make a goal that feels like just a little bit out there, a little bit further, pushing you a little bit at least. And in weight loss, we don't want to set a goal that's like unhealthy, or that would especially lead to unhealthy activities. And so we want to balance like our long-term health interests with, well, our long-term health interests are getting to a healthy weight, but also developing healthy habits so that we can continue to live in that healthy and vibrant lifestyle. And so your goal has to be in range of like that, keeping your activities healthy, right? And your choices healthy, and your eating behaviors healthy, like psychologically and like nutritionally. But I'm challenging you to really dig in and focus and make a goal that's within range of what I just described, but that just feels like it's wow, it's just really going to push you to make sure that everything you do in these 6 weeks is completely on point. And so in the very beginning of my weight loss, I was losing about a half a pound a day. I was at a higher starting point, and so my maintenance calories were a little higher. And as a result, I could eat, the kinds of things that I eat, and I could lose weight a little bit faster. My weight loss slowed a little bit after that. And so to expect now at my current weight to lose something like a half a pound a day, I feel like would require some extra interventions. And I think it's certainly physically possible, but probably not developing the kinds of habits and such that I would want to support at this point. And so I wouldn't make a goal that was like that extreme. But if you're coming in at a high starting weight, I mean, absolutely a half a pound a day, it might be completely on point. So there's 42 days in 6 weeks to give you some sense. So the very upper level would, maybe be like 20 pounds and depending on the starting weight. And, but I think that most people with some focus and discipline can shoot for 10 pounds in 6 weeks. But your goal might be a pant size. Your goal might be some kind of health measurement. And so if you are going back in to have your A1C measured or to have your blood pressure measured, maybe it would be related to something like that. But it needs to be something specific and measurable. If it is a big pound loss goal, I encourage you also to have some measurements in place, some like waistline measurements, some other things so that you can really see, just in case you have like a lot of fluid fluctuations in the end. I don't want you to be discouraged by that because there's absolutely fluctuations. And I don't want you to be sad, like I did all this stuff and then I still didn't reach my goal and it turns out it was like a high fluid day or whatever. Come on, have other measures as a backup to the scale measurements, as we should always have anyway. But now I want you to make your goal and I want you to write it down. So say you currently weigh 193 pounds, your goal would read something like this: to weigh 183 pounds by 8:33 a.m. on August 15th. That level of specificity. Absolutely. Write some sub goals if you feel like you need to in terms of like belt sizes or whatever else. That's okay. And I'll just point out, not all of us will have weight loss goals in this time, and boot camp is great for all of us and all kinds of goals. My goal in this recent period was to clean 6 rooms in my house, to declutter and clean them, and I have that written down. I even have a time. It was by like July 4th at like 8:21 in the morning or something like that. I will have to consult my paper. And so you might have goals too that are not related to weight loss. I encourage you to embrace whatever goal setting you would like, but very clearly, at Eat Like a Bear, most people are going to have some sort of weight loss goal. There's another video where I take you through an exercise that essentially helps you identify what kinds of things might be keeping you from reaching these goals. And from that, you create a daily set of 5 things that you're going to do every day that will help drive these weight loss goals. So it's one thing to say that you're going to lose like 10 pounds by a certain date, but it's another, then you need to have certain things in place so that you meet the goal, right? And so a lot of people will have like, I'm eating, a ridiculously big salad or whatever the food model is that they're doing in 1 hour, in 4 hours, or something like that. That might be one of the daily list of 5. Something else might be walking. I mean, you get the idea. I direct you to the other video, or simply make your list of 5. It's this daily list of 5 that if you do them every day, you're going to reach that goal. You're going to do them. You're going to reach the goal. I mean, the whole problem is, right, like doing the 5. Like, I mean, even doing like 2 or 1, even doing 1 might help you reach the goal. So, but the idea is the 5 are going to support you in the whole goal. So another one might be some kind of movement, getting out and walking every day. And not because like you're counting calories or like burning calories or whatever. Maybe because you're just out and enjoying life a little bit more, breathing a little bit more. It's going to help you. It's going to help you, with your overall mental health. Likewise, one of the things can be a mental health, like a relaxation activity. It could be reading a book, like a book for actual pleasure. Imagine that. It might be spending time daily with a loved one. Spending time with my son is on my list of 5. Okay, so your goal, it's measurable and specific. How much by when? Okay, so once a lot of us have our goals written down, we seem to kind of forget them sometimes. And so the beauty of all of us doing this together in this 6 weeks is we're going to remind you, but also you're going to remind yourself. I highly encourage you to write these down, maybe in a journal, write your goals down, write your list of 5 down, maybe even write about them every single day. Reread your goals. Honestly, I would write that goal on a piece of paper, put it up as a little sign on the fridge for sure. The dash of the car, if you drive a lot, why not have it right there on the dash of the car? Or something that represents your goal in a visual way so when you see it, you can recite the goal. And really, you could even have your main goal, like say it's the 10 pounds, and then like the main thing from your list of 5, like say it's eating in that eating window, those being like the key things that you've identified as getting you there. And you could have some kind of checklist or, one of the activity sheets we have where every day you like check, check, check. If you feel like in addition to something like the eating window, there is a secondary thing that's really critical for you meeting that goal, have a check in purple and then another little check in green or something like that. Check, 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 check. That gives such great visual feedback. It keeps the goal right at the front of your mind and your heart every single day. And affirmations. In the boot camp, we're doing a lot of affirmations in various ways. It will be entertaining to some degree, where all you see the affirmations in boot camp. But the beginning of week 2, we deep dive into the affirmations. And so a 6-week goal, I will lose 10 pounds or I will be 183 pounds on August 15th at 8:33 a.m. Pacific time. The goal. Part of the list of 5, I will eat a ridiculously big salad every day in 1 hour, and that is it. And then I will go be awesome. Other things on the list of 5, relaxation, meditation, movement, time with family, whatever else seems relevant to your situation. And affirmations absolutely tie into all of this. And so, everyone at Eat Like a Bear, you got to have a goal. You got to have your 6-week goal. Everybody's doing it. You hear me talking about boot camp. There's a boot camp, and I hope you're in it. I hope you're in it because we're going super deep on all this, on how do we do this every single day? How did I get through the last 9 months of a complete personal tragedy and maintain my weight? I have a lot to share, and I hope to see you in the boot camp. But if you're not in the boot camp, you got to have your own boot camp because you got to meet that 6-week goal. And as a community, with all of us focused in, think of all this positive energy that we are going to have just swirling around the community as we all dig in and focus. And that is the power of a community-wide 6-week challenge, 6-week goal setting. This thing that we're doing, that you're doing, you are here, you're in the community, you're doing it. Boot camp or not, you're doing it. You are doing it. Okay. So whether you're in week 2 finding those affirmations, let me leave you with an affirmation right here. I'm so happy that on August 15th, my pants are so loose, I'm going to have to go to the thrift store and go shopping.